Swoon's been out for a while, like a long while, like 14 months-ish.
Sorry, it's been what?
14 months-ish. It's been out for a while.
I like to say almost a year and a half.
Yeah. Almost a year and a half, yeah.
Starting to talk. It's starting to walk, too, which is scary.
Starting to run, I think.
Once it got mobile, this is really scary. You realize how dangerous your house is.
Nominated for a Grammy Award, tons of great publicity and press, and you've played Europe, opening for Placebo, and
how do you say placebo?
Placebo. I say, I goofed. I can admit it. I'm a big enough guy.
Our first shows with Placebo were in Italy, and I was hoping that they said Placebo,
Yeah.
but they didn't.
No,
I remember asking Brian, I was like, your fans here go Placebo? And they go, no, they say Placebo.
Placebo, everyone. And then some stuff with Muse back here, and it's been a ton of fun, right? But when do you guys start thinking about the next record?
When there's time to hear yourself think, you know what I mean? Usually that's not what's happening now. Touring isn't really conducive for your internal, dialogue. But once we settle back at home, which we're not quite sure when that's going to be, because things keep rolling along, but relatively near the end of the year, I imagine.
It's not a bad thing that things are rolling around, right?
No, not at all. Not at all. It's a good problem to have.
We don't really think about timing things like, oh, you got to get something out now, our iron's hot. All that's just kind of bullshit. The record's done when it's done. Right. And that's it. And that's...
You recorded a bunch of stuff. I think I saw that you recorded like 17 tracks for Swoon, and 10 made the record, and then there's a couple more that you've released as B-sides. Is there any more of that stuff coming?
There's stuff floating around, and it's going to be kind of... It's hard to actually get a handle on where some of those songs went. Some of them never showed up at all. Maybe we're not really fans of reworking older things, but who knows? There are a couple that we've been away from for so long that I would be interested to put out somehow or another, or maybe alter it,
revisit and
like
see. Yeah.
How about playing live? I mean, is it we decided to do the set list for tonight? Is it pretty standard fare in terms of what you're playing on the road and what the approach is?
For these quicker ones, yeah. I mean, it's heavy swoon clearly, and then there's some mainstays from Carnibus, but some get switched out here and there, and then a couple Pike will show up sometimes. It just depends, There are obviously songs that we don't leave out, like it would be funny if we didn't play Panic Switch or Lazy Eye and started playing those B-sides you were talking about.
Yeah.
That
really mess people up.
No, there would be 1/8 of the people would be like, yeah!
Yeah.
And the other people would be like, what the fuck?
What?
But, it changes here and there,
Yeah. You got to mix it up for yourselves too, right?
Yeah. Like yesterday here in Toronto, we played a song called 3 Seed that we haven't played in a long time.
Right.
And it was really, really fun to do. But our songs are long, and we actually think a lot about structure. Like when you structure an album, or sequence it, it only can work that way. I mean, for us it can. And then when you play live, if you play that sequence that you have on the album, it just doesn't flow at all. So it's really important to us that the live show has a flow.
Right.
So there are certain things that kind of can't get altered, which can, could bug you a little bit. But luckily, you have these little pockets in the set that those are the things you can switch around and move things around, and that makes it really fresh.
Whether it's like gear change or just instrumentation change or whatever. Yeah.
We've done a lot of interlude kind of things on the Swoon tour, which is we hinted at before, but there is a actual interlude on the record, and the idea of the show is that this one piece of Swoon, we kind of get that feeling throughout the live show, especially near the last half of the show.
Especially with lights now too. That now we have like a lighting person, and we like to have that flow. With the show, and we don't want to
That's our first time.
It's our first time, so it's pretty exciting.
We realize we don't have to do that much anymore. Before we'd have to work our asses off to get people to go, oh wow, energy's happening. And now I realize why bands have production, because they just stand there.
Well,
at the lights.
I hardly think that you guys just stand there.
No,
you're not the type.
We still. I think when we first started having those lights, we were blinded a little bit.
Right.
Christopher has a lot aimed at him, and I think we were halfway through this first half of the tour when I looked back, and because I can kind of see from where I am. I kind of judge what Christopher, how he's looking on how the show's looking, because he's silhouetted to me, and then he has these lights going on, and I remember going, damn. Cool.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Don't you guys get videos and stuff of?
We never do that.
Really?
We've heard bands do that. We never, ever listen to our show after. We don't even listen to it if we do acoustic shows. We think, okay, it's fine. Like on radio, we let things go. Like live is live. If we fuck up, who cares? It's live. And we the last thing in the world we want to do is scrutinize video.
Yeah, exactly.
We're done. Like
Yeah.
that. I think it's just the way our heads are. Every show is it's just such an immediate moment that I don't know exactly what we'd be looking back on, and we wouldn't be even seeing the thing as it was. And so once that's done, it's done, and you take from it what you took from it at that moment. Like I've heard these stories about bands doing this, and it's like I hate to be in one of those bands.
Having like post-show meetings.
Okay,
about
you
what
were.
went wrong,
I noticed you were.
what
Your
happened.
hair was flipping a little too much. No, this song.
You might need to get a haircut.
Yeah, can you trim one side of it? Oh, I've heard these things and witnessed them.
Right.
And it's like, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah.